evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is CPS Boxing News in from the city of New York Boxing News Media. And tonight it's a pleasure to have Elsa Altuzar, one of the fighters, eventually a boxer that she's from Chiapas, Mexico. And it's our pleasure to welcome her. Elsa, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. How's everything tonight?
Hi everyone, here's Elsa Altuzar and it's a good pleasure can talk with you and for nothing talking about all the people a little bit about me.
Great, great, and let's start it. It's always a pleasure for me to support women's boxing, and not only women's boxing. When I say boxing is in general, but I like to support Allah and the amateurs, professionals, and everyone who's allowed me also to speak to anyone when it comes to boxing, and not only boxing, different topics as well. Because the way that we live in right now in society, it's sometimes violence, things like that. But let me tell you something: boxing saves lives and eventually helps so many people in order to live a something that is addicted and is not good. But let's talk about boxing. When it comes to yourself, with all due respect to you, beautiful, young lady, what makes you to become a professional boxer? I know you are. I read something about you. I know you are a model. It's a great thing. So how you became a boxer and also combine becoming a model? Tell me your story.
Well, I'm starting in the boxing when I have 10 years old, but first I'm starting to the martial arts when I was I think in 8 years old and I start because the situation is so hard for the women. I have bullying, yeah, um, in my kinder, my preschooler. It's so hard to me, and so my parents helped me um, to for my defense. Well, I'm starting in this beautiful sport, and then I really like the fight principal boxing. When I was 10 years old, I decided to practice only boxing, and I stay here right now. When I was, I think in that, I don't remember exactly what age years I have when I started in the modeling, but I think in first, I think that's so hard because I fighting and then my photos, what I do. But right now, no, I think that was easy because I play my fights. Okay, I fight today, and my model I think in 1 month after. In this part, all thing good, all good.
Oh, great. It's amazing to hear you also have time for being a model, and of course, combining, your time and everything, managing your time in order to be a model and also training for becoming a boxer. And eventually, I think it's going great when it comes in your career because, hey, congratulations for taking both things, at the same time. I bet you that it's not easy because it takes time from one thing and the other thing, and that's amazing. To hear your story, and of course, with all due respect to you, I like the thing that you just mentioned. It's you becoming a role model. You were in the kindergarten, as you mentioned. They were doing to you bullying. I guess your father and your mom, they put you in some kind of sport, in martial arts and combat sport in order to learn how to defend yourself and things like that. And that's great. I mean, that's great when it comes to all females, whoever likes to practice this, and not only that, sometimes for having a good health. And with all due respect to anyone out there, sometimes they struggle with weight, so they have to join any type of sport. It doesn't matter if it is boxing, basketball, or any other sport, like to losing weight and of course feeling great. But in your case, like I said, I'm sorry to hear your story. It was like that, but I think you took it as a bad, and you turn it as a good energy in order to become a model, and not only that, a boxer as well. Tell me
Yeah.
something. Tell me something. I mean, coming from the state of Chiapas, I don't really know too much, and from the state. But how was it for you to turn, as a in a boxer, but being a model at the same time? I mean, not too many people, I guess, join the boxing field. I mean, I guess it's something different. So what was it for you, to being I don't want to say that the first person, becoming from Chiapas, an amateur boxer, but I'm guessing that from your town or a local, community, I bet you that you were one of the first ones. So how is it for you to represent Chiapas, the state where you belong, and of course the town that you belong? Tell me about it.
Well, for me, it's a really, really big honor to represent my state. I love my state. I'm from Tuxtla Gutierrez, Chiapas, and I feel so really proud for my state and for all the people that live in there, and I love it. For me, it's a big responsibility too because I I really, really want to put my state on the most highest, and that's my purpose. This is my objective, and well, for now I am a boxer, but I wanted to be a professional boxer, and I want to tell you one new, and is I have one promotion, and right now, the name of my promotion is Elite Boxing. I feel so proud with my promoter and Carlos. I really feel so great and about that. Feel so excited and starting this new project. And well, I only waiting for the opportunity for start, and that's all. I really feel so happy, so excited about that, and well, I feel really really happy right now about that.
Great. I mean, I can tell you in your face, in your smile, and of course, the energy that comes in your face tells you everything that you're ready for this. You're
I really have to tell you one thing. I feel so good that to be one person, the first person that you can opportunity about talk from Chiapas. For me, it's a good thing that you tell me.
wow. I mean, it's amazing because let me tell you something. Maybe I don't know that much, in the sports, like that I can hear from Chiapas, but I feel like you are one of the first one in your state, in your town, that eventually wants to elevate boxing, and after that, you wanna, like you mentioned, you wanna turn as a pro, and hopefully, the time comes soon. I mean, it depends on you, and depends how the modeling thing goes for you, but I like that you have the energy, and of course you're gonna take advantage when the time is right for you. And of course, as you mentioned, your promoter, it's working with you, and of course I think great things are coming for you, because I can tell you have the good energy, being positive, and of course motivated for that. And talking about motivation and things like that, Elsa, tell me, what do you think about women's boxing from today? I mean, years ago it was so different. Someone told me this, with all due respect to females and also champions and amateur, boxers. They said sometimes in the past they used to use only, I don't want to say use that word, I don't know what can I say, but they used to fit the whole card with women's, because they say, oh, we're missing something. Let's put a women's boxing over here. But now it's different, because women's boxing, or the images of women's boxing now is the main event, and you can see many great fighters. Like let me tell you one, two persons and two great champions: Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. To me, they are the ones that they opened the big door, the huge door, making history in the Madison Square Garden, making history for women's boxing, being the first, two athletes, two champions, making a big impact, noise, and everything for all women's, behind, and of course, they continue doing that as we have, Clarissa Shields and Cecilia Breckus, Jessica McCatskill, Michaela Mayer, Alicia Baumgartner, Sinise Estrada, so many names that I won't finish the list. Even Mexico has the great Jackie Nava, Barbie Juarez, Isis
Ah,
Vargas, Sulina, Erika Cruz that she just performed, against a great, champion, Amanda Serrano, that I want to send a huge shout out for Erika Cruz, tough warrior. What can I say? My respect for her goes out there and nothing. So, what do you think about women's boxing from this generation, from this era that we're seeing right now?
well, I think in that's so important in the sport that the women and men have the same opportunities for to be highest, because women have the same objectives that men, is the same objective. Women's and men's, all the people wants to be a world champion, and I really feel so great because the the boxing have opportunity for the woman, because I think in that after this era, talk about you. Um, the woman's is not too good for to be a boxer, or the people don't believe in the woman's boxing, because woman, no, better than a man. Mm-mm. So now it's completely different. The women have the same opportunities. The women's training really really hard. The women have sparring hard and fighting hard. So it's the same. I think that is a big opportunity and nothing. Um, I really feel so happy about that.
Great, Elsa. I mean, it's amazing now how we see in this generation, in this era, um, so many fighters out there, great champions, great athletes. Now they perform in main cards, being the main event. We no long we had a great card when it comes to Amanda Serrano and Erica Cruz. That was the main card event, and you could tell that it was fireworks from the beginning, and you have people very excited because the whole card, it was great. I mean, Michaela Mayer, I mean, excuse me, Alicia Baumgartner against Mikalev from France, and some other great female athletes that they participate in the card. So to me, it was great to see an event that it was performed, and bringing great boxing, and of course the fight fans love it. So to me, it's amazing now how I see the women's boxing is continue developing, moving stronger, and making noise for the next coming generations and behind it.
At excellent level, the women have excellent level, and no matter the for example, Mexico, United States, Brazil, in all the world, I think that have to much women that have a great level of boxing, and let's go for highest. The men's and women have the same wishes, and that's equal for me.
Amazing. I mean, now we can see that women's boxing is moving forward, is stronger, better than before. And I have to say congratulations to yourself, to everyone that practice boxing, to everyone that it's involved in boxing, whether it's an amateur, whether it's a professional. You all ladies are doing a great job, and we're here to support, of course, your movement and all of that. So to me, it's amazing, and I'm proud to be part of history of women's boxing. Like I said, whether it's an amateur or professional. And talking about making history and all of that, I know this fight is gonna make history. We are on April. It's coming right ahead. April 22nd. That's a day that nobody wants to miss this fight. I know there will be people like guessing what outcome is gonna be, and I'm talking about an exciting card that is gonna perform Mr. Ryan Garcia against Gervonta Tank Davis. These two fighters, they finally gonna meet each other in Las Vegas, Nevada. Elsa, what do you think about this great card? And you know, describe me from your perspective. What do you think about Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis? Tell me about it.
Well, first, Ryan have amazing, really amazing speed. Um, for me, is very faster. Um, he have a right hook very well, but Davies is very stronger. His uppercut is very less of me. Davies is very stronger, and I think that was, yeah, really big fight. I feel so excited for watch this. I think that, yeah, um, well, who, I don't know. That's a really hard decision because Davis had all the strong and Ryan all the speed, but I really don't know. That's so mystery, but I want to know. For no matter who wins, but I think that's a great fight. Boxers, I like it.
It's great because when it comes to making history, both fighters are gonna meet each other on April 22nd, and of course, as you mentioned, it's for you. You don't want to mention who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. I mean, it's a respectable answer. I think both fighters they have a great skills. You just mentioned Ryan Garcia has speed and power. From the other side, from Davis, he capitalized everything. He probably is not the fastest guy, he probably is not a quick, boxer, but let me tell you, he has power, and that left hook, it's powerful. That he's been knocking out people, and of course, I think it's gonna be great, because both fighters they preparing themselves for like if this fight would be for championship. Guess what, Ryan Garcia mentioned in one of the interviews in the past, he says even though this is for no, is not going for a world championship, but I consider myself that this is one of the fights that is gonna be for world title and things like that, because let's say if I win, I'm gonna shock the world. I'm gonna also make an impact, and everyone is gonna look on me after that fight. So, but the question over here is who's gonna handle the first punch from who. So that's the good thing, that we have to stay tuned and see what's coming on April 22nd on this upcoming great card. And talking about another great upcoming card, May 6th is right around the corner. Canelo Alvarez is bringing a fight in Guadalajara, Mexico, for his people, for whoever it's saw him when he was in the amateurs and began making noise in Guadalajara, and later on he went to the U.S. and of course now Canelo is the person who he is right now because he's been working hard, discipline, and all that. Tell me about it. He's having an opponent that is from the UK, Mr. John Ryder. I'm pretty sure he's training with everything because he probably saw already something in order that he can, defeat Canelo Alvarez. But let me tell you, Canelo Alvarez is just coming from a defeat from Dimitri Bivol. Of course, let's say one thing. He really want to reach another level, and in order to reach another level, he jumped, other weight classes, and of course, he don't belong there.
Yeah.
But guess what? He tried that, and we gotta respect that a lot, because no one can does that easily. But Canelo, he probably said it, I want to reach greatness and let's go for it. So taking risks, even though he lost, but nothing happens. I always said one thing, that's how we remember fights, and we create this amazing sport. Tell me about it. Who do you think is gonna win, or what do you see in the Canelo era that is moving forward? Talk to me.
Well, I just remember right now. Don't I don't feel really sure about that, about the date, but I remember that Canelo fighting in Tuxtla Gutierrez, Chiapas in 2005 when he is Olympic. Um, I think I'm not sure about the date, but maybe in 2005 he fighting in Tuxtla Gutierrez, Chiapas.
Oh wow,
Mm-hmm.
amazing, amazing that
Yeah,
he started,
I
one
remember.
amazing that he started one of the fights in your state, and I think it was great, to see a young Canelo
Yeah,
and hungry Canelo, and of course, uh, right now he has a big he's compromised. I mean, right now to face John Ryder in his hometown, and of course, I feel like this is kind of pressure for him because he has to prove and
yeah,
make people believe in him again because he coming from a loss against Dimitri Bol. I already said, with all due respect to Canelo, he tried to jump in other different weight classes and reach greatness. He couldn't make it, but I
yeah.
guess. Mm-hmm.
Too much respect. I felt too much respect for Canelo. Mm, for me as a good fan with the ball, and now too much respect. And now he fighting in Guadalajara is a good opportunity for all the people wants to see Canelo fighting. And for I know in all Mexico, so much people want to travel to watch Canelo in the Las Vegas, but all don't all the people have the same opportunity for travel, And now it's very easy for too much people go to see Canelo in Guadalajara, and for me it's a great opportunity for the people. And I think that Canelo is exciting for fighting in his place, in his house, and that's so very important.
It's great to hear this type of news, and of course we don't want to miss his fight because let's say if in case he wins, we already know who's waiting at the door. We already know who already won his ticket in order to face Canelo. That's Mr. David Benavides Jr. He's waiting right there, and he's waiting for Canelo. And he mentioned if Dimitri Bivol doesn't want to fight in September, we might gonna see David Benavides against Canelo. Everyone wants to see that fight. I know Canelo. He in the beginning he mentioned that he don't fight Mexican people, but guess what? Mandatory. I guess from the WBC and I guess other people that is involved in that. They're gonna put pressure and make both fighters, fight. And until that day happens, we're gonna see who wins from both fighters. But eventually now Canelo has a big a huge task, because when I call it huge is because he's coming home. He has this pressure, in front of his people. He has this pressure because he's coming from a loss and he has to prove it, and of course make his people, and not only his people, all around the world to believe in him again, and of course continue moving forward. Because hey, let me tell you, Canelo is a great fighter. I know there's so many people out there that criticize Canelo, that they be negative against Canelo, but he's the one right now moving boxing. I mean, who else? Even though UFC fighters, MMA fighters, they jump in and they say we want to fight Canelo, we want to fight Canelo, and let me tell you, one of the reasons that they want to fight Canelo is because of this as well.
Yeah, too.
Yes, and we will see a great card and a great event when it comes to Canelo, Mr. John Ryder. That's why we have to stay tuned and invite people to come and join us. And of course, there will, in Mexico it's gonna be televised by other um, companies. But if those people that they are all around the world, I think they have to download the Sun and of course join in, and then of course stay tuned in that fight because I know something is coming, and great card is gonna be on this date, May 6th, and we don't want to miss this fight. Um, Elsa, before we go, and wrap it up this interview, I'd like to thank you for the time, for everything. Is good thing and good question, and of course I'm hoping that you don't be bothered by this question. Is there any nickname that you already have in your career? You already People that already mentioned you, like, oh, we're gonna put you this nickname and people is gonna recognize you. Tell me, is there anything yet or not yet?
Can you repeat, please? the question?
Is there any nickname that you already have in your career that like someone can call you? I guess, oh, Elsa, the pretty girl or
Oh,
the blondie girl is coming into town
oh,
and she's gonna fight. Is there anything that they
yeah.
call you already besides your name?
Oh, yeah. It's Elsa la Belleza Altuzar.
Oh wow, amazing! I mean, hey, whoever put that nickname, it's already it's already making history as well. Elsa la belleza, the beauty. Oh wow, amazing, amazing. And hey, with all due respect to you, such a great and beautiful woman. And of course, I know you're trying to, making your name well known out there. And of course, you're doing a great job. Before we wrap it up, this interview, is there a date that you would like to mention when you're gonna turn pro, or you just you will wait and once you decided to do this turning as a pro and then you will mention?
Well, for now, I hope to start my career in the professional boxing. Mm, and now in the modeling, yeah, I continue with that. With my studies, well, I finished my university. I think that 8 months ago, I finished my university, and now my only objective is my professional debut, and that's all. I tell about all the people believe in me. Thank you, all the people um, in you. I really tell you thank you for this interview. For me, it's a good pleasure. Really, thank you, and well, thank you, my patrocinadores from Chiapas, Emporio Store Team, and my dentist Eduardo Vargas. Thank you, and thank you my parents, my mom Karina, my dad Hector, my brother um, Hector too, and to my patrocinador también also Felix Pie Shop. He is from Tijuana and give me support in my equipment and for gloves and all this. I really have to pleasure now about that, about A and my promotion, LA Boxing, you for this interview. Well, I really feel so excited for starting a new career like a professional boxer.
Oh, great, great. I mean, thanks to you, and I'd like to say, from my behalf, thank you for giving me the opportunity, and of course, have the pleasure to do this interview. Without you, I couldn't be done this interview. But like we match times and of course date and time, so
Yeah,
this is happening. And of course, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you greatness, and of course, moving forward, and of course, one day we're gonna meet each other. I always tell everyone the boxing world might see big, but it's not too big because when it comes to events, sometimes you never know when we're gonna meet each other. It comes the time that you probably see this person on TV or through the camera on interview, and guess what? When they make a boxing event, you don't know that person could be right next to you, and you'll be like, oh wow, I saw you in that interview. So it's very small. It's very small. So I don't want to say goodbye because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna contact you. But for now, I want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity. Another message that you would like to add to this interview before we wrap it up? Friends, family, anyone that you would like to mention? If you, in case if
yeah.
you forgot, I guess.
Thank you for the consideration about me. Um, Nothing, really, really. Thank you for this interview, and I hope that you have a good night right now. And for all the people, I hope that have a great day for all the people watching this. And well, that's all.
Thank you, Elsa. So we're gonna stay tuned in the next interview. Of course, we have to reach out for you. But for now, in the meantime, I want to say thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, from Chiapas, Mexico, Tulsa, Altuzar, it was with us, and of course it's a pleasure for me to do this, and of course joining and support women's boxing. Thank you, Elsa. Good night.
Thank you too.